Hiya there, lovelies, Remuchii here. Most of you probably had a moment in your lives where you got the chance to catch a glimpse of Mother Nature at its finest. A wild animal in their natural habitat, minding their own business. For example, seeing a squirrel for the first time. Wow, mommy, look, it's a squirrel! Maybe that time you saw a deer outside your window. Oh wow, a deer. That's one ugly boy.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Or that time you saw a huge-ass bug in your grandma's basement that made you want to burn down the whole country.
That's not a bug! That's a dog!
Well, I got these type of experiences myself. With the wild bears. You see, I come from the magical land of Transylvania where, next to vampires apparently, we got a lot of bears. Everywhere. I'm talking about in the woods, maybe in the park, in your local supermarket, in your backyard. You know, where you would normally find a bear. Don't get me wrong, I love bears. They're my absolute favorite animals. I mean, they sleep a lot, they eat a lot, they're adorable, and they devour your kneecaps if you bother them. I mean, what is there not to love about them? Okay, so before I get into it, here's a small disclaimer. Do not mess with wild animals. The way these situations were handled were definitely not the best. But it's fun looking back at them now because in reality, nothing really bad happened to me. But it could have gone wrong in many ways because bears are dangerous. They might look all cuddly, but they're not dogs, even if I really want them to be. So with that said, here are some of the times I encountered a bear. The first time I ever saw a bear was around when I was 8 years old. My older cousin decided to go explore the woods next to our home. In the middle of the night. Yep, that sounds like a great idea. Very big brain of him, I must say. And obviously my response to him doing that was, "Hey, count me in, buckaroo." So here we are at around 10 p.m. just walking around in the woods. Our only source of light being his tiny Nokia phone and my baby flashlight that I got in a bag of chips. Suddenly, I hear some of the bushes rustle behind us. I turn around and I see a round ball of fluff. Is that a dog's butt? I went closer to inspect it and poof! A tiny bear just came out of the bushes. Oh, my heart immediately melted. It was so small and clumsy looking. I had to pet it. I started getting closer to it, reaching my hand out to pet its head, and then my cousin noticed and he gasped in shock, picking me up in his arms and running out of there as soon as possible. I didn't understand why he did it. I remember I was so angry with him. I was this close to greatness and he ripped it away from me. Back then I didn't realize that cubs are usually followed by their big parents. Luckily, we got out of there in one piece, and the next night I told my cousin, "You know what? Let's go again." The second story is kind of a shorter one. I'm leaving the best one for the last. So I was visiting my relatives for the summer and one night I just woke up out of nowhere and I couldn't go back to sleep. I kept flipping around in the bed like a sardine, but my eyes just won't shut. So I said, I'ma head out. I decided to go downstairs to get myself some snacks for the night. It was pitch black. I didn't have my phone with me, so I had to T-pose my way into the kitchen so I wouldn't bump into something or just knock something over. The kitchen had clear windows facing the garden and the woods. I get to the light switch somehow and proceed to switch on the lights. Right outside the window, there was a bear. Just chilling, rummaging around in the trash can, feasting on the rotten peaches my relatives threw away a day before. Okay then. The light didn't even startle him. He just looked at me in the eyes for a few seconds and completely ignored me and continued his mission to get those peaches. I stood there confused for a few seconds and then I shrugged. Meh. And then proceeded to walk to the fridge to get myself some apple juice. Cheers, bear bra. You keep being you, doing your own thing. I wasn't really scared at all, more fascinated than anything. I knew that the windows in the kitchen had double glazing and I was completely fine being inside. And I just went upstairs like nothing happened. Last but not least, my most memorable one, and also my most chaotic one. In the summer of 2009, my family and some of our friends decided to go to a random camping trip. Things were going well, I was having fun. I mean, as much as an antisocial 12-year-old can have fun in the hot summer days surrounded by people who she doesn't know. But I survived somehow. Anyways, night came and everybody retreated into their cabins. I'm saying cabin, but this thing was far from being a cabin. It was like a pyramid-shaped tiny house made out of playing cards. The walls were paper thin. If you would have kicked it hard enough, you might have ended up on the other side of it. The door had a window on it, and so did the sides of the roof. Most of the time, the windows wouldn't even work properly, so honestly, sleeping inside or outside, it really did not make any difference. I shared a cabin with my childhood friend. Let's call her Ricky. She was a very interesting person. You know those charts with like lawful neutral, chaotic good and stuff like that? Well, she was an absolute chaotic evil running on 6 cans of Monster Energy juice every day, rebelling and fighting anyone and anything she can. Pretty cool person though. I was the more shy and calm one out of the group, but I'm not gonna lie though, that insanity kinda rubbed off on me sometimes as well. So like I said, we were laying in a cabin on our inflatable mattresses, me inside my sleeping bag all snuggled up, zipped up, velcroed up, looking like an absolute unit of a burrito. I might or might have not been burning alive inside there, but you know, it's better than becoming mosquito dinner. They really do love my blood somehow. Everybody just likes consuming me for some reason. I was having a hard time falling asleep for some reason. Ricky, on the other hand, well, she was knocked out next to me, sleeping on top of her sleeping bag. Wow, such a brave soul. I ended up falling asleep after a while. Time passed and I was suddenly abruptly woken up by the most sound library sounding generic ass sound. Oh, that sounded like a bear. A bear? I sat up at the speed of sound and peeked my head through the window, and there I saw a bear just walking around the camp. Oh shit. I turned to Ricky to wake her up. Oh my god, Ricky. Psst, Ricky, wake up, wake up. Ugh, what? There's a freaking bear outside. She suddenly got up, looked outside the window with me, and we could just see him clearly, just standing there. Is that a bear? No, it's a thick beaver. Of course it's a bear. So here's the thing, this whole situation wouldn't be half as scary if this cabin wouldn't be made out of cardboard. Our door wasn't even properly closed. I mean, more like it couldn't really be closed. So our first thought was to grab all of our stuff to barricade the door just in case, you know, the bear wants to come visit. Now that I think about it, that was kind of useless as the door opened the other way. But A for effort, 12-year-old me. After that, we both just sat down by the window looking outside to spy on it. The bear made its way to our food supplies, which are placed outside of the other cabins. What's with these big brain decisions people keep making around me? How about we leave the food outside their cabin in plain sight next to the woods? I mean, what could go wrong, right? So the bear started chewing down on the metal containers that had the food in it, kinda like karate chopping it with his paws. So what are we gonna do? We really didn't have that many options. We could just stay in the cabin till it leaves. We were safe in our cabins. The bear would choose food over us. Well, technically we are considered food as well, but I think a chicken sandwich is more appetizing than us. We could have called or texted our parents, who were in the cabin next to us, but we didn't really have proper cell phones. This was 2009. We had brick phones with no signal whatsoever, especially not in the middle of nowhere. You know what? I'm gonna go fight it. Hold up. Let me get this straight. You're going to get your teeny-weeny pocket knife. Yep. Go outside. Yep. And try and fight a bear like we're in Skyrim or something? If I aim at its heart, I could take it out. I swear I'm slowly losing brain cells here. Shh, it's outside our cabin. While we were having an intellectual conversation, the bear slowly made its way closer and closer to our door. It was right there, not even 1 meter away from us, looking inside through the door like, "Yup, let me crash this party!" We both immediately started screaming from the top of our lungs. I never thought my voice could go that high. Miraculously, that scared the bear away, and he ran away back into the woods. Somehow, nobody heard the screaming besides the bear, so we ended up just staying in the cabin till morning, snuggled up in a corner, scared. Next day, we told everybody what happened, and well, after that, I didn't really feel like going camping that much anymore. Later on, I figured out that screaming at the bear was actually the right way to chase him away. So lesson learned, screaming at your problems will make them go away. I'm actually really happy that I got the chance to experience something like this. Even though after all of this, many times I wonder how the hell am I still alive? Are memories and experiences make us who we are today. So, thank you, Mr. Bear, for helping me become the idiot I am today. Thank you so much for watching, lovelies. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have you ever had a wacky animal encounter yourself? If you did, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. And while you're there, you could just like the video. Only if you enjoyed it, of course. Oh, and one more thing. I'm planning on making a video about finding your art style. Lots of you requested it, so I thought, you know, why not? I have a lot to share about this topic, so stay tuned for that in the next weeks. And with that said, I hope you all have a lovely time. Take care of yourself and see you around in the next video. Bye bye.